What is going on? Welcome to the very first episode of GregglesMania. It's your daily source for wrestling news and rumors. Let's jump right into it. The very first story of the day is about Daniel Bryan on when he potentially wants to retire. Now, this excerpt was pulled from an interview he did with SportsIllustrated.com, and his quote is, "There are people who say I only want to do this for 3 or 4 more years, or I only want to do this until I'm 45. No, I want to do this until I'm 70. Months before I die, I want to be doing a wrestling show. I won't be able to do this stuff that I do now, but I want to go out and do this thing. I've been passionate about wrestling my entire life. I want to do that my whole life." Obviously, it remains to be seen if he'll actually be able to do something like that. He did have to retire. At least he was forcefully retired by WWE a few years back when he had the concussion issue. Hopefully he doesn't have to go through those things ever again. We'll wait and see, but it's a pretty lofty goal to say the least. Next up, Chris Jericho, who was just on the Busted Open radio show on Sirius XM, broke the news that he and Adam Hangman Page will be going against each other at AEW's All Out pay-per-view, which will be August 31st at the Sears Center Arena near Chicago. Tickets will go on sale Friday, June 14th. I am super stoked about this match. I can see it going either way. I can see them going with Chris Jericho because he's a bigger name. He's well known throughout the industry. He's just overall more popular and just well known. He's a future Hall of Famer without a doubt. Or you could see them going with Hangman Page because he's got youth, he's got vibrancy, he's the future of this industry. So again, I can see them going either way, so it should be a fantastic match come August 31st. As you probably know or don't know, Sasha Banks has been away from the WWE since about WrestleMania time, and it's basically because she's unhappy the way her career was going with them. She doesn't like the way she was being booked, and the continuing saga continues with her latest Instagram post showing that she's definitely still unhappy and wants to move on. As you can see from her beautiful photo here, she says, "I can never digress, lest I get demoted to death. Even though I'll be the best, still like the petty theft. I will conquer my biggest dreams. Once you open the cage, I bet that I'll spread my wings." So as you can see, just another showing of just how unhappy she is and how much she wants to move on from this company. I would love to see her in New Japan or AEW or ROH, somewhere else, just so she can really do what she wants and hopefully become the star that she thinks she can be. And the last story of the day is about the Chris Jericho podcast. Now, if you did not hear his latest episode with Jon Moxley, AKA or FKA, Dean Ambrose, you have to listen to it. It is literally the best wrestling podcast show I have ever heard. It is so honest, it is so direct, it is so to the point, and so telling of what seems to be going wrong with WWE at this point. You just have to listen to it if you haven't yet. Now, even to this point, what I just said, it's also Chris Jericho's most downloaded podcast, and it only took 10 hours to beat the record. And he's been doing podcasts, he says, for about 4 years at this point. So it's a huge show, and it's definitely the most popular one he's released at this point. Now, a bunch of things came out of this, from Moxley being told to do a promo on Roman Reigns and his cancer situation, to pooper scoopers, to just acting dumb and stupid and goofy. And there's so much. You just have to listen to it. And he really just felt beat down, and it took his love of the wrestling business out of him. Also on the Dave Meltzer radio show, he ended up saying that the feeling behind WWE is that they are not surprised that he felt this way in terms of being unhappy, because overall they felt like Dean Ambrose, aka Jon Moxley, has always been an unhappy worker. But I mean, based off what he said, I think a lot of people would be unhappy. So I don't really consider what WWE is saying as to be the end all be all of the correct, issue that's behind what's going on with Moxley at WWE at the time. Also, Meltzer went on to say that there's a handful, at least almost 2 handfuls of other wrestlers, some that will really, really surprise you, that are in the same situation as Moxley, being unhappy, trying to fight for the right thing, but getting nowhere with it. So that remains to be seen, and that is what your question of the day is. Who do you think is next in wanting to leave WWE because of the way their career is going and the way that they're being used? I think the biggest name, at least what I could think of, and it maybe not be that big of a surprise, would be Daniel Bryan. I can totally see Daniel Bryan still wanting to leave and do something else. I would think the money's huge for him right now. Maybe that's a huge reason why he might not want to leave. but overall I can see him being one of the huge names that would definitely want to be going somewhere else in the industry. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys down the road and tomorrow.